Elephant, it stands for elementary plus infant, and especially the modern day parents are very clear on quality, on category, on learning, building conviction. Trust me, if India has to be a 5 trillion economy, there is no way other than these women being financially independent. आपका conviction आप लोगों को कैसे pass on करोगे?
How you ended up with the right investor?
We raised March, April 2024 this year, about 5.5 crore. From investors like Malpani Ventures, Venture Catalyst, Manipal Group, Dr. Sudhakar Pai and all. Within first 15 days, we realized that no investor is going to even give you a nudge unless you do something or unless there is some revenue. Forget their money, my own money is stuck.
हर एक चीज़ का एंड तो कमर्शियल ही है ना. अगर आपको धंधा ही नहीं समझ रहा है तो मैं क्या ही तो आपसे प्रोग्राम मैनेज करवाऊँगा. You cannot be the biggest bottleneck for your business and जब शायद कुछ भी नहीं था, जब फंडिंग भी नहीं थी, तब भी एलिफेंट में we had a team of 20 people.
The real inspiration for it is my daughter Ahana. She is now 3 years old, and 2021 when she was born.
So welcome to Sign Up Startup powered by Bharat Valley Incubator and Accelerator Private Limited, Launchpad for Innovation. So today we have Mr. Sourabh Jain, founder of The Elefant. So Elefant is India's first toy library subscription where you can purchase toys on subscription model. We will get to know more about this in our podcast. So if you are new to this channel, then make sure you subscribe it. And if you want to get free resources or I will say exclusive resources, then you can join our community. I'll put the link in description. So now let's start the podcast. Okay, Saurav. So welcome to our podcast. And how are you feeling today?
Thank you for inviting यार. Feeling is always good. I love talking to people. तो जब भी कोई बात करने के लिए बुलाता है तो बिल्कुल अच्छा लगता है. It's good to come to places where you can express and you can learn. So, boy, I'm looking forward to it, to tell few things and to learn few things.
Okay, so सबसे पहले tell us about your journey and how Elefant idea came to your mind.
So, Elefant, it stands for elementary plus infant. That's our vision to give the elementary education starting from the infant age with toys. The real inspiration for it is my daughter Ahana. She is now 3 years old, and 2021 when she was born. So one of the things that as a parent I always wanted कि यार बड़े होके ये कभी ना बोले कि कैसे बाप हो तुम. तो मैंने बहुत पेरेंटिंग बुक्स पढ़ी, बहुत सारा ज्ञान इंटरनेट से लिया. तो उसमें एक चीज़ समझ में आई कि यार बच्चों को चेंज तो देना पड़ेगा. You cannot avoid change to your kids, and toys play a very important role in their early age. In terms of चाहे वो उनका growth development हो, चाहे वो हमारा bond हो. And that's why I always used to constantly get toys for her whenever I used to travel and or otherwise as well. But 6-8 महीने 10 महीने में घर भर गया, अलमारी भर गई, and of course you see that she is not playing. Finally being a Marwadi, it was like यार कब तक आप ये चीज़ें करोगे? There has to be some better way. I typically try to follow a bit of sustainable life कि आप ज़्यादा वेस्ट मत करो, बट शायद बेटी के मुंह में you don't look at it, right? So finally we were aware about a hack called as Toy Library. It is not that I've never heard about it. It's a community thing. Normally Marwadi Jains हमें पता रहता है ऐसे सारे छोटे मोटे hacks. So this was one of them that was we aware. So then we went to the local libraries and we realized कि they don't give convenience, they don't give quality, and they don't even give you the service that is expected as a 2023, 2022 consumer. It's something in 2022 that we thought about and started.
Okay.
So वहाँ से Elefant की journey शुरू हुई. इसके पहले I am a chartered accountant. I am 2010 pass out chartered accountant. Till 2014 I was part of Ernst & Young, EY as internal audit team member. Now I started my own consulting in 2014 by the name of Protune Consulting. 2017 we got together with KSAR and Company, which I proudly say is India's first CA firm. It's a CA firm of 1897. So it's a pre-independence era. And then we became Protune KSAR. 2020, our expertise lied completely in supply chain. So from there, supply chain was always my favorite subject. I joined Chai Point for some time. एंड एलिफेंट आज भी एक सप्लाई चेन प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर रहा है. You know, effectively, we have built a supply chain company on how you can take one product back from a consumer, give it to another consumer, take it back and give it to someone else also. So that's the broad journey that we have been living over.
So, sort of, then now we will move to the first segment of our podcast, that is Fab 5 segment. Before you came to our show, we have asked our community that what kind of questions they will like to ask you.
Wow.
So from there, we have selected the best 5 questions.
Sure.
Okay? So the first question is, what are the initial challenges you have faced during your startup journey?
So I think the challenges would be more or less same, okay? But if I have to tell you for Elefant, one was building conviction. You know, आपका कन्विक्शन आप लोगों को कैसे पास ऑन करोगे कि जो आप करना चाह रहे हो वो क्यों नहीं हुआ आज तक, एंड वाई आर यू डूइंग इट. इफ़ यू आर स्टेबल लाइक व्हाट आई वाज ऑलमोस्ट 33 डूइंग, आई मीन having a great position in life, married, kid and everything, so it's a settled life. Then when you try to break that barrier and say कि no, तो एक तो पहला challenge था convince करना. Once that's done, of course, everybody supported it when they got into detail and they understood. Finding right talent, I'll say before even finding customers, finding a right talent to join your journey was one of the biggest challenges that I have faced, because I firmly believe that one man alone cannot do much.
Correct.
A startup cannot be run single-handedly. You will need a team. So finding team, finding your first 100 customers, having a self-belief कि आप गलत भी हो सकते हो. You know, there can be people who can suggest you few things, so you need to have a very open mindset. तो वो challenges को हमने overcome किया. But if I have to be very specific to the brand per se, हमारा मॉडल लाइब्रेरी पे है. हमें लाइब्रेरियंस भी चाहिए थे. सो कैंडिडली अगर आप समझो तो मैं कस्टमर के पास नहीं जा सकता जब तक मेरे पास लाइब्रेरी नहीं है. और मुझे लाइब्रेरी, वी हैव अ फ्रेंचाइज मॉडल काइंड ऑफ, और वी हैव अ लाइब्रेरी मॉडल. तो हमें ऐसे लोग चाहिए थे जो हमें पे विश्वास करें और हमारे लाइब्रेरी सेंटर्स खोलें. एज अ रिजल्ट मैं आपको बता सकता हूँ दैट वी हैड 11 सेंटर्स बिफोर इवन वी वर लॉन्च्ड इन 6 सिटीज़. तो दीज आर पीपल जिन्होंने हमें 6.5-7 लाख रुपए इन्वेस्ट किए हैं टू बिकम आवर लाइब्रेरियन पार्टनर. ना हमारे पास ऐप है, ना हमारे पास कोई लाइव कस्टमर है, जस्ट अ विजन. एज अ रिजल्ट वो बहुत अच्छा दिख रहा है, बट it was a journey. मतलब to have 11 people and all of them I don't know. I am a very firm believer that your first 100 customer cannot be your friends and family. जहाँ आपने पहले 100 दोस्त यारों को बना लिया, वहाँ पे फिर the things go wrong. So finding these librarians was a challenge. Talking to manufacturers कि हम लाइब्रेरी चालू कर रहे हैं, आप हमें पीस बाई पीस रिप्लेसमेंट देना. हम आज नहीं तो कल 1000 लाइब्रेरी खोलेंगे. Convincing 70+ brands to come on board was a challenge. Getting people, setting up logistics, ensuring everything is set right. एक बार चला तो जाएगा, वापस आएगा कि नहीं आएगा हमें भी डर लगता है कि आएगा कि नहीं, and all of that. So yeah, so those are the challenges. Initial funding, of course, you have to be prepared about it. So those are certain things.
So our next question is how you have found your first customer. You were talking about the top 100 or first 100 customers. So who was your first customer? What was the amount you have received from him or us?
So हमने ना दिल्ली में लॉन्च किया था हमारा पहला लाइब्रेरी. आई स्टिल रिमेंबर इट वाज कृष्ण जन्माष्टमी, आई थिंक इन सितंबर, वेयर देयर वाज एन इवेंट इन वन ऑफ द सोसाइटी जहाँ हमारा लाइब्रेरियन पार्टनर खुला था. So we had a kiosk. We were explaining people. हमने एक बोर्ड लगाया था, why buy when you can subscribe, ऐसे करके. तो there were a lot of people who were like, ये क्या लिख रहे हो आप. शायद पहले 10-20 लोग तो सिर्फ ये आए कि मुझे टॉय दे दो, मुझे खरीदना है, मुझे टॉय दे दो, मुझे ये खरीदना है, कितना डिस्काउंट है. हम बोल बोल के थक गए, हम बेच नहीं रहे. तो लोगों ने यहाँ तक बोला फिर स्टॉल क्यों लगाया जब बेचना नहीं है आपको. But that is where we got our first customer, where somebody from probably the walk-by audience, it was a public display, so we had people walking in.
Okay.
They trusted us for their daughter. I still remember it was a 6-year-old girl. They would have paid us about 2,399 for a 3-month plan that they would have taken from us. And yeah, I mean, so First 100, I'm still a very strong believer that we need to do a lot of offline touch points. So maybe and that probably today is one of the weakness. I can't say it's weakness or not, but it's not the strongest of our area. So these are certain ways that we have got our first 100. So I personally feel that going back in between your customer as a founder is far stronger than being ghosting online and then getting the first 100 sales.
So the third question is, do you think a startup always needs to be profitable, or because there are some startups who are focusing on impact, some investors are also there who are focusing impact related investing. So how your startup is positioned into this thing?
So we are I think we want to be a profitable impact startup. Now why is it an impact? See, आप अगर मॉडल को समझोगे तो एक चीज़ जो आपको बहुत सामने सामने समझ में आती है कि पेरेंट का टाइम बचता है, पेरेंट का पैसा बचता है, घर का क्लटर बचता है, बच्चे को बहुत कुछ मिलता है. बट वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट रीज़न फॉर मी पर्सनली टू स्टार्ट दिस वाज आल्सो द फैक्ट दैट toy industry is one of the worst industry in the world. You know, those who don't know, 6% of world's landfill is toys. Plastic landfill to be specifically. Toys are actually, you cannot recycle it, you cannot reduce it. The only R left is reuse. And be the brands like Lego or anybody, Mattel or everybody is facing challenge that आप कम कैसे करोगे, because plastic तो plastic है and plastic के बिना toy नहीं बन सकता. Even wood is not a very sustainable material that way.
Yeah.
So we definitely put an impact when we reuse it. We do carbon saving calculations. Till date, we would have saved almost 15 lakh of carbon by reutilizing our toys to the environment. We do that calculation separately as well. So, but are we trying to position ourselves कि please हमसे ले लो, हम दुनिया बचा रहे हैं? No. So, you know, and nobody is gonna buy that also. See, I can buy an organic t-shirt once, but then I'll compare pricing, I'll compare benefits, I'll compare colors, etc. So my suggestion and my view was very clear, with or without impact, it has to run.
Correct.
You know, and that is where we feel that we are profitable. We will be profitable for sure, and of course, creating an impact.
So I will come to the next question. That is a very hot question for all the founders.
Okay,
Fundraising.
correct.
Because nowadays what is happening, anyone who wants to start their startup, wants to call himself as a founder, the first thing is how I will raise money.
Correct, absolutely.
So tell us about your journey, how you have approached investors, how many investors you have approached, how many rejections you got, and finally how you find your last, and finally how you ended up with the right investor.
So we raised March, April 2024 this year, about 5.5 crore from investors like Malpani Ventures, Venture Catalyst, Manipal Group, Dr. Sudhakar Pai and all. These are well-renowned investors that we were able to onboard. The journey was not easy, and it is not something that just came on your hand. So in August, September, when we launched, we started approaching investors. That SS idea. Now we are ready with our app. Everything is done. Initial money was put in by my own self. We had a certain capital for creating app. It is not a small expense. Within first 15 days, we realized that no investors is gonna even give you a nudge unless you do something or unless there is some revenue.
Correct.
So one of my personal recommendation to any founder, or if I have to give from my experiences, no point in going at an idea stage. This is no more to a 2017, 2016, where at idea stage you get, unless it's like some magical idea, and so investors are probably more ready when you have certain traction. So we stopped our checkout till December. So in December, when we had about 400, 500 paid users, annually paid users, when we had more than 10, 15 cities activated, the revenues were there. That is where we started it again. Very honestly, there are a lot of, I'm being a chartered accountant, there are a lot of firms, IBs, etc. that say that they can help. Of course, they help you with a lot of things. but finally it's your journey. So I approached them on LinkedIn. I had approached an event, attended a lot of events, met them, explained them wherever that opportunity was there, be it a lift, be it a car, be it any hotel. You explain them and take time. In terms of rejections, maybe not too many, but yes, we have also seen. But so for every 5 pitch that you will do, I mean, 5 is very less a number. Maybe every 10 pitch that you will do, probably 2 will take it forward, 1 will then take it to the third step, and possibly zero point 0.5, or that one guy might convert. So we would have done about 22 pitches at least, and out of which then we got our fundraise. We still feel that we were among the luckier ones because of the strong conviction. We still have a great conviction on what we are doing. And at the same time, what works in our favor is that people understand that, okay, this guy is personally invested. So maybe I've personally invested beyond 1 crore of my own money in that. So which makes it a little easier for someone कि यार ये भागेगा नहीं. आज की तारीख में I can't run away because forget their money, my own money is stuck. Correct. So you have to make sure that this works. So that gives a lot of conviction. Everybody has a different way to do, but to certain extent, I still feel that some numbers will always make it easy.
So this is the last question of this segment. As a CA, what are the advantages you received and what are the disadvantages you felt when you started your entrepreneurial journey?
As an advantage, I mean, you know numbers, you know legal, you know commercial aspects, you understand things much faster than anybody. No one can just say any random thing. So I think chartered accountants are the best entrepreneurs. I mean, I firmly believe, और मैं मतलब publicly भी कह सकता हूँ कि I think we guys should stop doing whatever else we do. We should only do entrepreneurships or work at supply chain or operations as an area. We are the best suited to do all of that as against filing returns probably. So that really helps because your core knowledge always has business in it, right? Always has numbers in it. You can calculate things much faster. You can see journeys much faster. 10 लाख रुपए है कहाँ तक जाएगा आपको मतलब calculator नहीं चाहिए. It runs in your mind very fast. So that is there. In terms of disadvantages, I think exposure is one of it. I was among still the lucky ones because I've done internal audits, so I've seen a lot of companies in and out. But what I've always felt whenever I've spoken to CAs and personally also, maybe because you're not taken up like that, we don't get those strategic experiences being a part of a founder's office or part of some strategic meetings, discussions, setting up businesses. If I would have set up a business with somebody earlier, then setting up this business would have been far easier. So I still feel there is a scope where as an institute or as a community, we can start doing that, promoting CAs. I happily promote CAs. I have a chartered accountant running my supply chain. I mean, she's the supply chain head for us and she runs it as a chartered accountant. There is a chartered accountant who manages HR and other operational aspect. There is a chartered accountant who manages the tech programming, not the development, but giving them the business requirements because I know what they can think. हर एक चीज़ का एंड तो कमर्शियल ही है ना.
करेक्ट.
अगर आपको धंधा ही नहीं समझ रहा है तो मैं क्या ही तो आपसे प्रोग्राम मैनेज करवाऊंगा. So that way I really feel there is a lot of scope that a chartered accountant can do.
So this is the conclusion of the Fab 5 segment. Now we will move to the next segment, that is the elevator pitch segment. Which is a very famous thing in across social media. So in this segment you have to describe your brand in 60 seconds. So your time start now.
So हम सब जानते हैं ना बच्चे कितनी जल्दी बोर हो जाते हैं. वो जो चीज़ उन्हें लास्ट वीक पसंद थी वो भूल चुके हैं क्योंकि इस वीक उन्हें कुछ और पसंद है. बट क्या कभी हमने सोचा है एक ऐसा तरीका जहाँ हम उनकी बदलती रुचियों को हैंडल कर पाए बिना अपने घर को क्लटर वॉलेट को एम्प्टी करे. So that is where we want to introduce you to Elefant. We are India's first toy subscription platform जहाँ आप मेंबर बन सकते हो, अपने बच्चों के लिए टॉयज़ और बुक्स ले सकते हो, लेट देम प्ले, और जब बोर हो जाए वापस करके कुछ और ले सकते हो. We have 600 plus options from 70 plus top brands, all delivered at your home and picked back from your home at a finger step. So ना clutter, ना पैसे का खर्च और ना environment को harm. That is what the Elephant is. Or if you are trying to invest in us, you also empower women apart from saving the environment. That's our short little pitch.
I think clap for this. Okay, Saurav. So next segment is myth versus fact. Okay, so I will ask you or I will tell you certain statements. You have to mention whether it is myth or fact.
Fair.
So the first statement is children need a large variety of toys to stay engaged and develop properly.
So it's a fact, but it is to be seen in a way that they need change.
Okay.
Whether you say that they need all thousands of toys at one go, no.
Okay.
They will continuously need variety. So an average child in a survey that was done, they get bored with a toy in 16 days. Okay. So 16 days like a world average, and trust me, my own daughter gets bored in 4 days, less than 4 days. So, and that's a fact for majority of our parents. So variety is not in terms of quantity at one time, but change is important.
Next question is subscription based toy libraries like this question is for my team specifically. Subscription based toy libraries like Elefant are more expensive in the long run.
Never. सी अब उसका एक ना सिंपल सा हिसाब है. अब आज के बच्चे ना बहुत मॉडर्न डे पेरेंट्स हैं, एंड आर टीचर इज ऑल्सो अ बिट क्लास विच इज मे बी अपर मिडल एंड अबाव एंड मिडल अपर मिडल एंड अबाव. सो यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू स्पेंड एनी थिंग ऑन अ रैंडम प्रोडक्ट. आने को तो टॉय 50 रुपये में भी आ रहा है और वही टॉय 500 का भी आता है. बट एज यू से राइट, ब्रांडेड कपड़े वर्सेस लोकल कपड़े का फ़र्क अगर हमें पता चलता है तो बच्चों को भी पता चलता है. द क्वालिटी, फेयरनेस एंड एवरीथिंग. आप कुछ भी कर लो. आपको मैं एक सिंपल सा एग्जांपल देता हूँ. हमारा सब्सक्रिप्शन आज की तारीख में अराउंड 8,000 रुपीज़ का है, जिसमें आप एक टाइम पे 3 टॉय लेके अनलिमिटेड डिलीवरीज ले सकते हो. लेट्स अज्यूम आपने साल में 40 डिलीवरी मंगाई, इंटू 3 आपने 120 टॉय से खेला. योर एवरेज टॉय कॉस्ट इज़ लेस देन 55 रुपीज़ ऑल्सो, विच इज़ आप लोकल मार्केट का भी लेने जाओगे तो भी नहीं है. तो आप मुझे सिर्फ एक ही बात पे कॉन्ट्राडिक्ट कर सकते हो, बोलो मैं तो टॉय खरीदूंगा ही नहीं. हाँ, दैट्स अ फैक्ट. अब आप खरीदोगे ही नहीं तो खर्चा ही नहीं है. बट अगर आप खरीदने जाओगे, आप फैमिलीज घुसो, 4 टॉय लेके आओ आप, तो घर आके मुझे बोलोगे कि यार सब्सक्रिप्शन दे देते. सो दैट्स वेयर इट इज.
आई थिंक ये हिसाब किताब एक सीए ही कर सकता है. So next question is kids lose interest in toys quickly, so there is no point in focusing on educational or age appropriate toys.
ये क्वेश्चंस को ना 2 पार्ट में तोड़ते हैं. किड्स लूज इंटरेस्ट वेरी क्विकली. इट्स अ फैक्ट. इट्स लाइक इट्स अ बिगर फैक्ट देन सनराइजेस इन द ईस्ट. ओके, मतलब अगर आपका बच्चा इंटरेस्ट लूज नहीं कर रहा है ना, ट्रस्ट मी, यू शुड गो टू अ डॉक्टर. There is some problem with the child for sure, especially in their age till 8 years, and that's such a psychological fact. Now that's why you should not invest in educational toys. No, I still feel, and we tell parents also, आपको नहीं करना है reuse. आप बहुत पैसा है आपके पास, you are happy to do it, आप हमारा ऐप यूज करके वो टॉयज खरीद लो. आपको एटलीस्ट एक लिस्ट मिल रही है ना प्रोडक्ट्स की जो आपके बच्चे के पास होना चाहिए, वैसे यूज कर लो. बिकॉज एक्चुअली में चाइल्ड का बेस्ट फ्रेंड और द फर्स्ट टीचर इज अ टॉय, and you need to have education. That's the easiest way to communicate something.
Correct.
What is winning, what is losing, what is number, what is alphabets, what is colors, shape, everything from cognitive skills to your gross motor skills, everything can be taught through toys.
Next question is reusable toys are not as hygienic or safe for kids as brand new ones.
It's a myth again. Depends on what kind of libraries or what kind of reuse process are you doing. So at Elefant we are very, very particular about. So we sort of use a US FDA approved sanitization machine and things. So every toy is going through a sanitization process. We clean it up with kids friendly solutions if required. Every toy is packed up in a nice box again, so that the kid has an unboxing experience every time. So we try to give as much as possible, just like your new toy to a child. So yeah, as I said, it depends on which library, but majority of libraries know what they are into, so they also take care of sanitization. And at Elefant we are very particular.
Okay. Last is kids generally break toys.
ये ना बहुत ही ट्रिकी क्वेश्चन, और फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन है कि मेरा बच्चा तो टॉय तोड़ देगा आपका सब्सक्रिप्शन लेके, मेरा तो नुकसान ही हो जाएगा, आप मेरे से पैसे मांगने आओगे. दिस इज द मोस्ट कॉमन फीडबैक और स्टिग्मा दैट वी गेट. बट यू नो, व्हेन डू किड्स ब्रेक टॉय? व्हेन दे आर बोर्ड ऑफ इट. आप उसे बार बार सेम टॉय दोगे, एंड दिस इज प्रूवन अगेन न्यूरोलॉजिकली दैट बियॉन्ड अ पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम दे विल गेट एजिटेटेड, एग्रेसिव ऑन अ पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट. कोई नई चीज़ जैसे ही आई, दे विल नेवर एवर ब्रेक इट. वो 8-10 दिन खेलेगा. अब मेरी 3 साल की बेटी को बहुत अच्छे समझ में आता है कि एलिफेंट के डब्बे के टॉयज है वापस करने, अगर मैंने तोड़ दिए तो नया डब्बा नहीं आएगा. सो वंस यू एक्सप्लेन, दे आर फास्टर देन यू टू कैच. दूसरा एक और मिथ इसी के रिलेटेड एक चलता है कि मेरे बच्चे को टॉयज तो बहुत पसंद आ जाएंगे, वो छोड़ेगा ही नहीं. ठीक है, अगेन द सेम थिंग, इट्स अ की थिंग. यू नो, आपकी कभी अगर बच्चे ने गाड़ी की चाबी ली है, आप उसे कैसे दूसरी चाबी दे के वो चाबी ले लेते हो? दैट्स द सेम थिंग. उनके लिए उनकी पूरी जायदाद यही छोटी छोटी चीज़ें हैं. तो अगर आप उनसे एक्सचेंज कर रहे हो, दे आर मोर देन हैप्पी. एक डब्बा लेके दूसरा डब्बा दे दो, दे आर अलाइंड. उनको कोई प्यार मोहब्बत अफेक्शन नहीं है उनके प्रोडक्ट से. ऑफ कोर्स इट कैन बी अ डॉल एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट. सॉफ्ट टॉय को अलग कर दो, लिटरली कोई अटैचमेंट नहीं होता उन्हें सिर्फ मतलब है कि मेरे पास अगर अभी 1 काउंट है, मेरा वो 1 काउंट कम नहीं होना चाहिए. सो दैट्स द आइडिया.
So this was it for this segment.
Thank you.
Now we will move to our last segment, that is the secret to success recipe. So what is or how you will define your success? What are the key things you have felt that these things or these points help me to achieve success? Whatever you have achieved in your capacity till now.
So, I mean, one is, of course, I would not want to put myself in a position that I have achieved a lot. It's a journey that everybody goes through at a certain age. तो शायद 35 तक जितना होना था, मैंने थोड़ा बहुत उसमें I have done it. But one of the thing, be it my consulting practice earlier, was passion, was belief in what you are doing. मतलब you can send 100 parents to me to say कि नहीं चलेगा. I will talk to hundreds of them, discuss all their questions, answer from my side, will never get tired to do that, you know. So your own conviction in doing it is very important, but this should not be messed up with zid or that overdoing it. So what I mean is, if there is a good suggestion by somebody, happy to accept it. So that has been one of our secrets always, that we have modulated ourselves as per people and not forced our idea onto them. So with a passion to do what we are doing. So those have been helped us. You will have to be a lot more consistent. Thirdly, one of my secret is always to people, you cannot do everything. You like it, you don't like it, you will have to have team, you will have to have people under you. You will have to have, if you're sitting somewhere, the business needs to run.
Right.
You cannot be the biggest bottleneck for your business. And जब शायद कुछ भी नहीं था, जब फंडिंग भी नहीं थी, तब भी एलिफेंट में we had a team of 20 people.
Okay.
Because we wanted to give the best, and you will have to do that.
So this was it for today, Saurabh.
Thank you.
It was a nice session for me especially, or if I can conclude the whole session, that how Elefant is important for a kid's growth. Mostly what previously I have known, that the initial years of a kid, it is very vital
Correct.
for them to have that knowledge from a neurological perspective, mental perspective, till the time they are going to school. So that period of time, I think in our parents' age, no one was thinking anything.
Correct.
That ऐसा कुछ हो सकता है. But now like Elefant is coming in this space, and I really wish you be the best in the world.
Thank
in
you.
upcoming years. So this is a necessity now. The awareness is a necessity amongst all the parents, that why it is important. So it may be like जैसे हम बच्चे का पढ़ाई के लिए सोच रहे हैं, same you have to think from the initial stage, so that वो जो 1-2 साल 3 साल बच्चा आपके पास है, so he can really enjoy that time and also
Absolutely.
mentally grow. So thanks for being in the show.
Thank you very much.
So viewers, this is it for today. In next episode we will come with another guest who will share his life lessons which can help you in building, growing and scaling your business. Till then, stay tuned.